Okay, it's a fresh week here at the White House. Now, on this Monday, we just got out of a roundtable with business leaders about investment, and they just rolled out an idea, which is a Trump accounts for babies and the investment that the U.S. government is putting in your newborn baby, and potentially what that amount could look like at the age of 18, at the age of 30, and even at the age of 50. Big stuff, very hopeful. Check it out.
We've had some exciting days in the last week, I would say, mostly good. Some of the things you're reading about in Los Angeles, thank goodness we sent out some wonderful National Guard. They've really helped, and a lot of problems they were having out there. They were afraid to do anything, and we sent out the troops, and they've done a fantastic job. So I want to thank them very much. I also want to thank you for being here as we discuss one of the most exciting parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill. It is indeed a big, beautiful bill, and it's doing very well. The Trump accounts, as they call it, pilot program, which will make it possible for countless American children to have a strong start in life. Here's how the accounts work. For every U.S. citizen born after December 31st, 2024, before January 1st, 2029, the federal government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into a tax-deferred account that will track the overall stock market. In other words, it'll be pegged to an index that we'll pick. Right, Michael? We'll pick it. We'll pick a good one. Maybe you should be the index. I'd like to have that. These kids would be very wealthy if that were the case. That would be a good idea. I think we might do that, Michael Dell. These accounts will be private property controlled by the child's guardians, and in many cases, those guardians will be the parents. We think probably the parents will be the guardians. They'll be open for additional private contributions each year from family, friends, parents, employers, churches, private foundations, and more. This is a pro-family initiative that will help millions of Americans harness the strength of our economy to lift up the next generation, and they'll really be getting a big jump on life, especially if we get a little bit lucky with some of the numbers and the economies into the future. In addition to the substantial financial benefits of investing early in life, extensive research shows that children with savings accounts are more likely to graduate high school and college, buy a home, start a business, and are less likely to be incarcerated. Trump accounts will contribute to the lifelong success of millions of newborn babies. They are fully, and this will be very interesting, I think, for everybody to hear, they are fully funded through targeted reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill, like the $1.7 trillion in mandatory savings, welfare reforms to stop waste and fraud, a 3.5% remittance tax, and more. And it's just a part of that. The One Big Beautiful Bill is among the most important pieces of legislation in our country's history. I don't think there's ever been anything bigger. So I'd like to begin by asking Speaker Johnson to say a few words.
The One Big Beautiful Bill, it is not an overstatement to say it will be one of the most consequential pieces of legislation in the history of Congress. There's a lot in here. And by extension, or I would say it is an extension of the figure who I believe will be the most consequential president of the modern era, if not all American history, and that's the gentleman sitting to my left. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you very much. That's a beautiful statement. Huh? Well, I like him too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a statement of objective fact, and every working American understands, I think, the principle behind this concept that we're discussing today. If you have a 401k, you understand the power of investing early for the future. Trump accounts take that same principle, and they apply it from the very beginning of Americans' lives. It's a pretty simple concept. The families that opt in will receive a one-time payment of $1,000 to a Trump account that parents can contribute to. It's a bold, transformative policy that gives every eligible American child a financial head start from day one. Republicans are proud to be the party, we always have been, that supports life and families and prosperity and opportunity. And Trump accounts are all about setting up the next generation for success. For future Americans, this early investment could really be the game changer. It could be a difference. It could pave the way for paying their way through college or buying their first home or starting a business. even when they're young. So even $1,000 at birth will put these Americans in a better position than over half of American adults who sadly have no retirement savings at all. So this would be a remedy to that great problem. And it will encourage the free market. It will encourage investment and understanding of capitalism. All these things that we want to foster among the American people so that the economy and individual lives can flourish. Of course, none of this happens unless we pass our one big beautiful bill through Congress. And we have at stake the largest tax increase in American history if we fail to deliver. And we will not have this rocket fuel to the U.S. economy, and that's why this is so very important. Passing this pro-growth legislation will help every single American. From Trump accounts, this is one of the components of it, to eliminating taxes on tips and overtime, to reducing red tape on Main Street. And the one big beautiful bill is going to drive prosperity. It's going to create jobs across the country. It will make all boats rise. Wages will go up. Job participation levels will go up. We'll have more opportunity, more economic opportunity for more people. So you can climb up that ladder to the next step. The typical family with 2 children is going to see their take-home pay increase by up to $13,300 a year. That's real money to real people. This legislation is geared for hardworking Americans, and it is going to help everybody. And we are excited to deliver it. It can't happen soon enough. We are very close now to that finish line. After about 14 months worth of work that's gone into this, we're excited that we're almost there. Mr. President, thanks again for your leadership, to all the great leaders around this table for all that they invest to our economy and our country and its government. And I will, as we say in the House, I'll yield back.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it. And again, for a great job. Thank you very much.
Now behind me, some of the media's coming together for a potential gaggle. I have no idea who it is. So I tell you what, the door is opening up. Well, maybe not. False flag there. But someone's going to come out, so let's just go walk over there and find out who's about to gaggle here at the White House on this Monday afternoon. Let's go.
Afternoon, everyone. We had a great meeting with the President and a number of special guests there, and just wanted to share with you a couple of thoughts by way of update. Ever since the House passed the One Big Beautiful Bill and sent it to the Senate, we've had increasing momentum for this legislation. It's grown rapidly. We do have a great sense of urgency about getting this done. There are a number of reasons for that. In the few weeks since we passed our bill, we've witnessed a horrific anti-Semitic terrorist attack in Boulder. It was carried out by someone who was not supposed to be in our country. And we've had illegal alien agitators taking to the streets in the city of Los Angeles. The One Big Beautiful Bill funds deportations so we can get these criminals out of our country, and it also funds border security at unprecedented historic levels. So President Trump's secured border will stay secure into the future.
A lot of people want to know, are we going to see consequences for these Democratic lawmakers who are inciting riots and violence in California and calling for insurrections across the nation?
Yeah, it's a real concern. It's beneath any member of Congress. We should be supporting the rule of law and obviously upholding federal law. That's what's being flouted in California. That's a shame. With regard to what the consequences are, I'm not sure yet. There'll be a lot of discussion about that. I mean, Congress has limited power to control our own. I mean, there are censures and those types of activities. But in the meantime, I would just encourage my colleagues to think very seriously, think very hard about that. The Democrats are making a terrible political calculation. They are on the side of lawbreakers. They are on the side of illegal aliens. They are on the side of, in some cases, MS-13 members and people who have abused their spouses. I mean, they're on the wrong side of this. The American people do not want violent criminals from other countries illegally in the U.S. I mean, this is a very common sense position that we've taken, and the Republican Party is standing for the deportation of these dangerous people. ICE is involved in that. It is their job to do so. And they are following the will of the country. The people don't want dangerous people here. This is the easiest question that they should be able to answer, but they don't. They got
one more on the Big Beautiful Bill, sir.
Provision within the Big Beautiful Bill regarding artificial intelligence, unregulated AI in all 50 states for the next 10 years. Are you aware of that? Why is that included in the Big Beautiful Bill, and does the White House know about it?
Yeah, of course. I know about it. The White House knows about it. I spoke with it as recently as last night with David Sachs, who's the AI czar in the White House. Here's the rationale behind it. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about this. it would be a very dangerous thing, we feel, for all 50 states to have a patchwork of regulations on AI. There's a number of reasons for that. Imagine a state like California that hyper-regulates everything. They would stifle innovation. They would put so much tape of regulation on top of it, they would smother it. And that would be a serious problem from a national security standpoint. Because remember, we're in a race with other countries, not the least of which is China. And if we hamper our own innovation and we make it too complicated to continue to develop, then China will overtake us, and that's a very dangerous situation.
Okay, Speaker Johnson taking a few questions from the media, everything from AI, the aspect of the one big beautiful bill and whether or not it's going to stay in there when it gets back from the Senate. Also talking about the lawmakers in Congress on the Democrat side that's really been in the way of these ICE agents out in the field. And one of the questions was, is there any type of penalty? Is there any type of repercussions that someone in Congress can have if they do impede on ICE arrest? And so Speaker Johnson hoping and calling on his colleagues to use better judgment, to not cross the line, let the ICE agents do their job. So you never know what you're going to be asked here at these pop-up press conferences.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice. Back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
Okay, so today I'm a one-man band. I'm what you would call in the industry an MMJ. So I've got my camera, I've got my lighting here, which I'm used to working. And so basically we're going to get on the motorcade here and we're going to travel to Joint Base Andrews, get on Air Force One, fly to Fort Bragg, then get on a helicopter to go the rest of the distance. And from what I understand, the activities on the ground at Fort Bragg will be loud. It will be probably disturbing to a lot of people. As far as it'll probably scare a lot of people actually. But it's going to be pretty interactive. So I'm going to make sure I got the camera and I'm ready for that. It all started on the south lawn of the White House. The early morning air buzzed with anticipation The kind of electricity you only feel when something historic is about to happen. Then we were off, sweeping through D.C. in that unmistakable black line of SUVs en route to Joint Base Andrews. That's when President Trump boarded Air Force One, his sleek, powerful Boeing 757, followed by members of the press and, well, me.
We're headed to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Let's go.
Once I stepped on board, I had a front row seat to a bird's eye view like no other. Soaring from Washington, D.C. down to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the landscape unfolded beneath us. A patchwork fields, winding rivers, in towns that seemed no bigger than your hand. It was humbling and surreal.
All right, so I'm on the ground here at Fort Bragg. We're waiting for President Trump to walk off Air Force One. Now we're going to get in a helicopter. We'll see how it goes.
I joined the press team and climbed aboard a CH-47 Chinook helicopter, a beast of a machine. If you've never seen one, imagine twin rotors spinning like thunder, a massive belly for troops and cargo, and a sound that rattles your chest. The Chinook is a battlefield workhorse, reliable, fast, and able to fly low and heavy through combat zones. It's kind of an aircraft that says, we mean business. From there, we flew deeper into the base toward one of the most powerful military demonstrations I've ever witnessed. Hundreds of paratroopers suddenly filled the skies like a scene from a war movie. Only this was real. Canopies opened up one after another, dots becoming soldiers as they floated down with precision. Then came the ground assault, Hummers, helicopters, the full might of the U.S. Armed Forces on display, the best of the best. As the dust began to settle, the crowd looked up. Marine One appeared overhead. President Trump circled slowly in the sky. The roar of applause matched the rotor blades. He stepped out and delivered a speech that echoed through the field. Patriotism, strength, and American resolve.
That's a beautiful sight, and it's a beautiful sight to be with you in a place called Fort Bragg. Can you believe they changed that name in the last administration for a little bit? But we'll forget all about that. Well, we're going to forget all about it. I want to just say God bless the U.S. Army and God bless the USA. Great place, great group. I want to thank so many incredible soldiers and paratroopers, pilots, warriors for that awesome display of pure, unrivaled American military might. I just saw something that was crazy. You don't want to mess I've been saying a long time, we have the best. Nobody even comes close, but they just gave me a display that you might be lucky not to see it because it's a little scary. It was beautiful to watch. Let's hear it for the Army Special Operations and Command and the 82nd Airborne Division and the 18th Airborne Corps. What a show it was and what a show it continues to be. And Saturday is going to be a big day in Washington, D.C. You know, a lot of people said, we don't want to do that. I say, yeah, we do. We want to show off a little bit. You know, recently, other countries celebrated the victory of World War I. France was celebrating, really. They were all celebrating. The only one that doesn't celebrate is the USA, and we're the ones that won the war. Without us, you'd all be speaking German right now. Maybe a little Japanese thrown in. But we won the war. And we don't celebrate, but we're going to celebrate on Saturday, and we're going to celebrate from now on. We're going to celebrate our greatness and our achievements. This week we honor 250 years of valor and glory and triumph by the greatest fighting force ever to walk the face of the earth, the United States Army. In the days ahead, and every generation to come, the U.S. Army will heap glory upon glory upon glory upon us all. You will protect every inch of U.S. soil, and you will defend America to the ends of the earth. Wherever danger is, there the U.S. Army will be. Another beautiful phrase. Whatever peril comes our way, whatever menace threatens our people, you will stand strong, you will be proud, you will charge hard, and you will keep that flame lit, that beautiful, beautiful flame. You're going to keep it lit. You will hold the flag high, and you will do something that's become quite a famous little phrase also, but you're a hell of a lot braver than me. You will fight, 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 and you will win, win, win. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our soldiers, and God bless the U.S. Army. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Then, as quickly as it began, we retracted our steps back into the Chinook, then back on board Air Force One, Washington bound. What a day. From the lawn of power to the skies of history to the boots on the ground, defending freedom. It was a day I'll never forget.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice. Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
Incredible, the Army, which is 1 year older than our country. How are you? 1 year older than our country. I thought it was incredible, the display. I don't know if you got to see it. I think you did. But that was some great display. So, incredible force, incredible people, and it was an honor to see it.
Concerned about anything that could go wrong by having the military there. They're trained for different.
No, it can only go right by having the military to de-escalate. I mean, that was the only way. These people are agitators, they're troublemakers. I believe many of them are paid. I watched them breaking up the sidewalks with a big hammer, handing pieces of the concrete to other people.
Who do you think is paying for that?
Somebody's paying for it. Thank you.
Absolutely might have something to do with it.
Thank you for saying that. Somebody's paying for that. I watched total professionals. He's banging the curb, banging the granite, banging the concrete. And he had a whole group of people. They lined up like totally professional, grabbed the big chunk, and they dropped it on the soldiers. They dropped it on the Los Angeles police. These are insurrectionists. They're agitators or troublemakers. At a minimum, they're troublemakers.
Mr. President, you just witnessed an amazing spectacle of flex with our military. What impressed you the most?
I think the total love for the military. I mean, I was with the generals. They're explaining the different maneuvers. And the love they have for the Army and the military is beautiful. They're really great people. And I've never seen anything quite like that. I don't think any other president has either. You know, they really put on a good show. I asked them, did you do that for Biden? They said no. They didn't do it for Biden. I wonder why. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, it's Wednesday here at the White House. What a great trip we had yesterday over to Fort Bragg, motorcading from here to Joint Base Andrews, getting on Air Force One, flying to Fort Bragg, getting on a chopper. Full day of coverage on that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, so today, a couple things going on. We had a press briefing just now, and it was the typical questions I would think from what's going on in the news, which is all of the chaos going on in Los Angeles. And the majority of the questions were about the response or the lack of response from Gavin Newsom in California, and how proactively President Trump sent in the National Guard, sent in our military to maintain law and order on the streets of Los Angeles. And as we go into, I guess would be night 7 tonight, I don't think they're anticipating any massive gathering, as they have now a curfew in place for that 1 mile radius around downtown Los Angeles. Now behind me, there's a little construction going on. I noticed this yesterday when I got the motorcade from the South Lawn. The Rose Garden was kind of tore up a little bit, showing that they are putting in these flagpoles in the South Lawn, and they're putting flagpoles on the North Lawn. Let me step aside. Take a look at this. You can tell some of the construction is underway, digging the holes. I would imagine kind of laying out some of the electrical, sections for lights and all that good stuff. So he's going to have some really big flags here in front of the White House. Now, tonight I am headed, hence the black suit, by the way. A lot of people say, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to the Kennedy Center. Where else would I want to go on a Wednesday night? So we're going to have the premiere there at that for Les Mis, right there at the Kennedy Center. We'll have red carpet coverage, say that 3 times, red carpet coverage throughout the night on all of our newscasts. So I'll be there. You're coming with me? Let's go. What's your thoughts on being here tonight?
I am elated. I'm a native Washingtonian. My husband's a native Washingtonian. My brother-in-law was on the board of trustees for the Kennedy Center appointed by Reagan. This is the crown jewel for the arts for the world. And President Trump, as you know, he assembles the best of the best. He surrounds himself with the best. And he's done that right here at the Kennedy Center under the great leadership of Ambassador Grinnell. He's brought the best and the brightest and people who love the arts and who love the Kennedy Center and want it to thrive and to continue to be that symbol around the world. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's coming for the Kennedy Center. I hear rumors that there's going to be great renovations and really taking it to the next level. And as a native Washingtonian who's been coming here my whole life, I can't wait. And I'm so grateful to President Trump for everything he's done here.
So you feel like he's bringing the golden age of theaters back?
He is. He really is. And the enthusiasm is off the charts. I have to say, I can't wait to see what the new programs are that are going to be rolling out. I understand they're going to be spectacular, and I'm a huge fan of Les Mis. So tonight, I will be just loving every minute of it.
What do you think about any type of controversy from people protesting their performance? Have you heard anything, and what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I really feel like somebody needs to talk to the protesters, because by protesting because they don't like President Trump, really what they're doing is they're creating an obstacle for these performers who love their art, their performance, the skill and the discipline that it takes for them to be performers here. And really what they're saying is that they don't support the arts, and they don't support these great performers that come here, the greatest in the world, to perform for people who come here from all over to witness the greatness, the excellence that the Kennedy Center delivers. So that is heartbreaking to me, because clearly they don't understand what the Kennedy Center is all about. The Kennedy Center is nonpartisan. It doesn't matter whether you're a Republican, Democrat, undecided, independent. The Kennedy Center welcomes everyone from every walk of life from all over the world. So I just feel as though somebody needs to let the protesters teach them about what the Kennedy Center represents and how it's near and dear to so many of us.
You look beautiful. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice. Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
We're here to make the arch great again, aren't we?
Sorry?
We're here to make the arch great again.
That's right, man. Good to see you. Look, it's going to be a great night. We're going to have a great time. And I've never seen Les Mis, but we're excited about it. I know the president's excited about it too.
You guys look stunning. I got to ask you, did you ever go to plays as a kid growing up?
Not a big play guy as a kid growing up. Was not a common experience for me and my family, but it's one of the great things about America is here I am as the Vice President of the United States, seeing this great performance under the leadership of the President and Ambassador Grinnell. I'm excited about it.
Second lady, did you grow up seeing some plays as well?
I did, yes. So this is an experience that we
she's more of a fan of the performing arts than I have, but it's something that, as all husbands learn, when your wife really likes something, you learn to like it too.
Good to have a good night. Thank you. Thank you. Secretary, just want to get you guys' thoughts on being here tonight. Very historical night here.
We're really, really happy to be here. My uncle was committed to art, literature, and music and poetry. He wanted to make our country the apex of culture around the world. He invited Pablo Casals to the White House. He had Robert Frost read a poem at his inauguration. He had these wonderful seminars at the White House for art and literature and music and poetry. My uncle believed that civilizations are not judged based upon the wars that they win or their armies or the throwaway of their weapons. They're judged upon the culture that they leave behind. We don't remember the Greeks for the battles they won. We remember them for the sculpture, the architecture, the plays, the poetry. And he wanted to make sure America was producing those too. President Trump shares that vision, and I'm very, very happy to be here.
Cheryl's nice as an actress. Do you have a different perspective watching the performance tonight?
I probably will. Actually, this is the first time I've been here, so I'm very excited to see it, and it's a really special time.
Last question. Do you remember your first play you ever went to as a kid?
I went to Music Man, and then I went to Camelot.
I went to Porgy and Bess. And Extremities, which is pretty dark, so you can cut that part out. But
we're going to cut that. Yeah. Well, we thank you guys for taking time with us tonight. Thank you. Hey, we're making the arts great again tonight, aren't we? Let's talk about how special tonight is.
Look, I think the fact that we're having a sold-out show, we're having a big red carpet, a big celebration, people are here, is fantastic. What we want to be able to do is welcome every single person. We want there to be no one that is not a part of this. I'd like to see people who sit next to each other. Maybe they voted for Bernie Sanders, maybe they voted for Donald Trump, and we don't know. And you don't know who's sitting next to you, because this is going to be a place where everyone comes together and they watch big shows and they do big, productions here. So we're pretty excited about it.
I've been asking everyone coming through here, do you remember the first play you ever saw as a kid or as growing up?
I would have to say, I think it's Oklahoma. Yeah.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. President, we're making theater great again, aren't we, tonight? We're making theater great again.
Yeah, Brian, and I'm glad you're here.
Glad to be here. What does it mean to be here tonight? Now this is under your administration, you're bringing class back, the golden era of theater.
We are. We have a golden era here in the country. You see the trade numbers came in today. They're fantastic. The deficit was cut in half over a period of 2 months. We cut what they tried to destroy our country. They were destroying our country. And you saw how good the numbers were. We took in $88 billion in tariffs in 2.5 months, and that we didn't even start yet. No, we're bringing the country back fast, and I'm very proud to have helped Los Angeles survive. Los Angeles right now, if we didn't do what we did, would be burning to the ground. And that's not over yet. These are radical left lunatics that you're dealing with. And they're tough, they're smart, they're probably paid, many of them, as you know, they're professionals. When you see them chopping up concrete, because the bricks got captured, they're chopping up concrete and they're using that as a weapon. That's pretty bad. And thank you very much for your question.
You're a New Yorker. You've been to 1 million theaters. Do you remember your first theater production that you attended?
Well, a long time ago. I would say maybe it was Cats.
Cats. First Lady, do you remember your first theater production you saw?
Phantom of the Opera.
There you go.
Are you a Les Mis fan, Mrs. Trump? I am.
That was great.
I am.
Are we going to munch on some popcorn and Diet Coke tonight while we watch the production? Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
We'll be right back with more Sunday in America here on Real America's Voice. Welcome back to Sunday in America with your host, Brian Glenn.
What a fantastic night last night at the Kennedy Center. President Trump, First Lady, looking fabulous. So did J.D. Vance and Second Lady Usha as well. Just beautiful night, beautiful pageantry, and it's great to see that the arts are going to be kind of, I think, an investment, a reinvestment in the arts there at the Kennedy Center. Okay, so it's Thursday here. We've got a bill signing ceremony about to take place. A little bit later, we have the executive order that will happen as well in the Oval Office. And then later tonight, there is a summer picnic on the south lawn of the White House, and I have the +1 to go to that. So we'll have a little bit of bill signing, a little bit of executive orders, and we'll cap the day off with a summer picnic. As you can see, they've got the stakeout. We'll show you real quickly. We got the stakeout set up for today, so whoever steps in front of the microphones, that's kind of where they'll do it. And there's kind of a buzz in the air around DC right now in terms of the parade happening on Saturday. No matter where you go in the city right now, especially around the White House and the National Mall area, there's big fencing up to obviously protect the parade route there. There are a few protests planned, not in the immediate area of DC, but on the outskirts of this area in Virginia. They have what's called like a human chain that people are going to come together and protest on Saturday. Some 1,500 protests scheduled around the country, so maybe there might be one in your own backyard. But I know on Saturday we will be inside the motorcade for this big 250-year parade, a special occasion right here in our nation's capital. So you're going to buckle up and go for the ride because we'll be in the motorcade. But until then, let's go check out this bill signing.
Thank you very much. I just said to Mike, this is fantastic. I didn't think we were going to see this coming for a while. Congratulations. This is a very, very important thing. Thank you very much, everybody. This is a very important thing we're going to be discussing. Please sit down. Thank you very much. This is good news indeed. People said it couldn't be done. You got it done. I just have to sign, right? That's very good. This is really something. And it has to do with the California Auto Regulation, CRA. It's been a disaster for this country. And I want to thank everybody for being here. We officially rescue the U.S. auto industry from destruction by terminating the California electric vehicle mandate once and for all. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, it's a steamy Thursday night, and we're on the south lawn of the White House for the annual summer Congressional picnic. And of course, we couldn't leave without our ice cream. But let's talk about, this is a tradition, and President Trump walked out and says traditionally Republicans and Democrats come to this picnic, but I haven't seen any Democrats yet.
I haven't seen any Democrats.
Yeah, and they probably won't come. But they're missing out on a great event. First Lady's office puts this picnic on. It's beautiful.
Melania did a great job. She's the best First Lady for some great job.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to walk around, try this ice cream, eat some food. Let's go. interesting developments overnight. As it was interesting because last night at the Congressional picnic on the South Lawn of the White House, it was such a beautiful setting. The food, the music, the ambiance, the camaraderie amongst people in Congress there. But a thought in the back of my mind was, well, what is happening right now on the other side of the globe? And of course, we all saw what developed overnight with the airstrikes on Iran from Israel. So that is developing as probably we speak right now. So that's escalating to a point where when does the United States get involved, or how much are we involved in it right now? So that is very much the hot topic here along Pebble Beach. Now, originally there was an event, or maybe two things, scheduled on the books in the White House for President Trump. I think it was an executive order. As of right now, today, in the morning, there is only a security briefing that's on the books, and nothing else is opened up from the office of the president. I would imagine they're going to closely monitor everything happening over in Iran. Now, the big story, I guess, would be tomorrow is the big 250-day military parade, which we're going to have team coverage on this parade. I will be in the presidential motorcade, so it will be popped up right there in front of the president's box. We'll get to see everything rolling through as we celebrate 250 years of the Army, which is really interesting. That came a year before the 250th anniversary, obviously, of our country. So it's a beautiful day here at the White House. I am extremely hungry. Yes, I did not eat that much last night at the Congressional picnic, so it's time to walk over to McDonald's. I'm going to grab a big bag of biscuit, McMuffins, sausage, hash browns, and I'm going to bring them back here and maybe feed some people. Let's go. You know, it's interesting. The other day, I was walking out of here, and I heard someone say my name. And, you know, there's a lot of people usually are out here in front of the White House. So I looked over, and it was, I couldn't tell who it was until I got up close. It was Brick Suit. You know, Brick Man, Wall Man, Brick Suit here for the parade. It was pretty funny. But anyway, let's go. In preparation for the parade, you've seen concrete blocks, the wall, the fencing going all the way around the White House here, and even, we'll say this, across the street along 17th in Pennsylvania, there's massive amounts of fencing going up, and that's all obviously not only for security, but it's also to keep people away from all of the moving parts of the parade, the tanks, the helicopters, the troops, everything that's moving through. It's just to kind of be a divider between the people and the parade. You got to keep everybody safe. Normally at this hour, at this intersection, this place is hustling and bustling. I'm talking, this is the main cross between everyone who's going to the Eisenhower building, which is where all of the staff, their offices are there. This is normally a very busy area, but they've got a lot of roads shut down. Obviously, across the street, they have more barriers they're going to put in place. Now it looks like we only have kind of police cars, and Capitol Police and Secret Service vehicles are only allowed up until this point. So for those that are coming in for the parade, you might want to give yourself some extra time because you're not going to be able to drive up and walk in for sure. All right, let's go eat. Big order. I got the massive big order. Yeah. All right, so I love McDonald's. It's one of the things that I can't live without, to be honest with you. I love their iced coffee. I love their McMuffin. I love their eggs. I love their hash brown. I'm loving it. I love McDonald's. part of this job is to monitor social media. Now, we all know not everyone who follows us agrees with us politically, or even the company we work for, or President Trump in the White House, or Republicans, or whatever. Some of them don't even like this country. But it's one of the things you have to do is kind of monitor your social media. Now, I typically don't respond to a lot of messages that are hateful. Sometimes I do, and I like to have fun with it. But I thought I'd spend just a hot minute, if you will, and go over some of the messages that I get on social media, and so that maybe you have a better understanding on my stance on social media. So this comes from Big Mac 67. Big Mac 67. Great name, by the way. There's never been a better time for military parade. The optics and power that it shows may be a deterrent from some of this. Right now, we need to not just show strength, but we need to exercise strength. That's a great point in terms of the military parade tomorrow. That's definitely going to be a massive display of a power of our military. Now, last night I was at the Congressional picnic on the South Lawn here at the White House. And so I put a pic up on X and posted it up. There it is, right there in front of the South Lawn. And well, people, I guess, have a problem with that. This comes from Danny Hulse. That's Danny, Hulse 3. OMG, I totally overlooked the fashion police deer in the headlights. W2F. What is he even thinking? I guess I had a problem with what I was wearing. I thought I looked okay, but nevertheless, we keep going. Okay, so you go on to people that even follow you, that troll you. And by the way, if you're taking the time to follow me personally or our network, but yet you constantly criticize and troll the accounts, I just want to say thank you for coming onto our page and helping out the algorithms. It helps out the interactions, so keep following us. I like that. But this comes from Teresa, 99778608. That's Teresa, 99778608. Now, Teresa made a comment and said that, here's quote, the fact that you only comment only on your girlfriend's time is really turning MAGA and Republicans off to your reporting. In a matter of months, you've become such a clown. Now, I just don't see how. For one thing, I guess Teresa is connected with the MAGA network and with all Republicans, so maybe she's their spokesperson for all of that. So to sit there and criticize me for just simply commenting on someone who is very close to me in my life and supporting them in their efforts, how does that lessen me as a journalist? And how does that lessen me as being impactful in representing MAGA? I don't understand it. Teresa, 99778608, which by the way, if I had a handle that long, I might want to shorten it up a little bit. That's a little long, Teresa, 99778608. Thanks for your comment, though. I appreciate it. So for all of those who follow me and follow the network and always watch our shows and troll us, thank you for being a part of our big, wide social media presence. All right, we had a great week here at the White House. We'll see you next week on Sunday in America. Follow me, Sunday in America.
See you next time on Sunday in America, only on Real America's Voice.